This program was made possible with the support of the OG Affiliate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, friends, and welcome to APCW Perspectives, and happy birthday, America, or what's left of America. And hey, what says USA quite like some ignorant redneck getting out of a beat to shit, whatever the hell that is. Hello, friends. It is the 4th of July weekend, and I am wearing my red, white, and blue just to prove my loyalty. Well, I am wearing white. You just can't see it right now. I mean, no, not like I'm wearing a white T-shirt is what I meant. What the hell is wrong with you people? I mean, your mind just goes to the worst possible thing. So annoying. I'm wearing black underwear, but you know, half the women in the industry already knew that, and a couple of the guys, but I digress. Here in the United States, it's Independence Day, while over in the United Kingdom, elections are underway as I film this. Perhaps next week we'll have something interesting to report about that. And hey, the US elections are now just 4 months away, with the uprising and civil war scheduled for sometime in January. Last week we discussed the recent gambling survey of Great Britain, which collected data in the second half of last year. That survey showed how player participation in the national lottery skewed the numbers of people betting in the UK, inflating that number and the sense of urgency concerning our industry, plus justifying the Gambling Commission's invasive and overreaching affordability checks. This week, the asshats at the UKGC are back in the headlines for yet another survey. And if you think I may be a little out of line for calling them asshats, well, buckle up. You're going to enjoy this ride. The survey in question this week dates back to 2021, which was only released after a Freedom of Information Act request was filed. That survey shows widespread animosity and even hatred toward these unnecessary violations of personal privacy that the Gambling Commission calls affordability checks. In fact, that survey shows that only 14% of people said that they would comply with these checks if implemented. 14%. That means 86% of people are not going to comply with them. That's a number that has not been shared with us through the UKGC over the years. That's a number that doesn't line up with what we've been led to believe about these checks. And now, even normally reserved industry experts are outright claiming that the UK Gambling Commission deliberately misrepresented these statistics on affordability checks. I tell you, man, I would like to think that I had something to do with this backlash against these affordability checks. That would be really good for my ego, but the truth is probably something more akin to these checks suck and people are just now being able to voice their concerns about them. And I ask you this, my friends, what would cause a governmental regulatory body to suppress data and provide false information so that they could have access to your private financial information? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could it be that the UKGC is simply, shall we say, asshats? Yeah, I thought you'd come over to my side. Or perhaps there's a more appropriate word for them that you're thinking of right now. Welcome back, friends. Before we go any further, I wanted to let you know I've been hearing explosions coming from that direction and more explosions coming from that direction. And if the sound of one of those explosions makes it into this video, please don't be alarmed. I do not believe the revolution has begun just yet. I think it's my neighbors setting off fireworks and getting an early jump on the 4th of July celebration. I'm not sure, but that's what I suspect. Now, rushing headlong into the second half of our show, I thought you might be interested to know that Finland has decided to end their gambling monopoly and allow commercial gaming operators in that country. But before you start making any plans, the new liberalized market will not open until 2027 at the soonest. Although, my webmaster friends, it's never too early to grab a domain name or two. This transition will begin next month in August with consultations. Then there will be legislation in 2025 and licensing in 2026 with a provisional operation beginning in 2027 before a full market opens in 2028. And if Finland follows every other major gambling market in the world, the backlash, advertising restrictions, credit card bans, and calls for protecting the children should begin in earnest in 2029, 2030 at the latest. For example, we're seeing this exact scenario play out over and over again, and it's in its late stages right now in the United Kingdom, while other nations are in the middle of this process, like up in Canada, where there are now calls to treat gambling like alcohol, tobacco, and cannabis. Of course, you're going to love this. These calls are coming from the Canada Centre on Substance Use and Addiction. Oh, well, who could have seen that coming? It's not like they have a vested interest in expanding their purview, possibly shifting how gambling is regulated in that country away from the provinces. Or hey, what about this one? In Northern Ireland, where an assembly executive is labeling gambling a major public health risk akin to, can you guess, alcohol and tobacco. With calls for a public health strategy and, here's where it gets juicy, a levy on gambling operators. Well, goodness gracious, imagine that. Gambling bad, but cash makes it better. Just another government looking out for you, the little guy, the people who are too stupid to think for themselves and manage their own finances. And all they need to do this and help you out is just, some more cash. Yeah. You see, this is a playbook, and all governments run it for a variety of different interests. First they vilify, then they criminalize, before they monopolize. We saw it here in America way back with UKGC in 2005, 2006. So why should we be surprised to see any of it today? After all, it works. And with that, my friends, I'm going to go have a beer, partake in the festivities, and God willing, I'll come back and do this again next week. Hopefully with all my limbs intact. This is the playbook that the governments have been running for years. I mean, they criminalize, then they vilify. Well, I f***ed that up, didn't I? Yes, I did. I got all the way to the end and just, yeah, never mess them up front. No. Wait till you get to the end, Todd. Wait till you get to the end, then cock it up. That way you can reshoot the whole thing.